I feel like we do really have to talk about the Chris G situation though. Wow, like I'm kind of like half and half on my situation. Yeah, Naughty literally just brought it up. I'm kind of half and half on it. Do I believe that he deserved to be punished for his actions? Yes. Do I think Evil Geniuses handled it the best? No. I do not think the way Evil Geniuses handled this is great, because if everything he said is true, because Chris G did a stream, actually in his, I think it's his girlfriend tweeted as well. If I find it, I'll put it somewhere, right? But basically, apparently what Evil Genius asked him to do is they asked him to move to Seattle from wherever he was. And if everything he said was true in the clip, if everything he said was true, essentially they said to him, you're going to be fired if you don't move to Seattle. And he had to pay a lot of money out of his own pocket to get there. And that was quite recently, and yesterday he's just been dropped. I don't think Evil Genius has handled this the best. However, Chris G needed some kind of punishment, and I really don't like the way if you watch, so he streamed for like 13 hours yesterday. I remember I was up at like 4 in the morning. And I had seen it had gone live, and then I tuned in for a bit, and some of the he was saying a lot of bullshit. Chat, I'm gonna be honest, he was saying a lot of bullshit. We're gonna get into that a bit later, but he was saying a lot of bullshit. Then anyway, yeah, so I was up at like 4 in the morning. I saw a bit of his stream, and then I was like, fuck it. Then I went to bed. I woke up, and then this was around like 3 p.m. or something. He was still streaming, and he was just like shouting, crying about everything, and doing, and it's like, I don't know. I think the one thing above all is that I've seen is that Chris G doesn't fully understand what he has said to this day. No, I'm gonna take that back. I feel like he does understand, but he doesn't understand the impact it's had, what he said. I don't think he understands that, and he doesn't understand what he really should have done, because the thing is, everyone around him and everyone in his stream, by the way, some people in that stream were saying some of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life. Actually, just for full disclosure, let me show you everything that Chris G had said and why we're now in this situation. So I'll just literally just show everything. And this was 3 years ago. So, black female gamers suck. Asian female gamers at least pretend to be good. Bonus reason, y'all be ratchet as hell talking about black female gamers. Not gonna sugarcoat obviousness. It is a fact I live in the scene. You know how many black gamer girls have hit me up about sex but can't even do a DP motion in Street Fighter? These are facts. The FGC stays away from most of them for a reason. This guy has no idea who I am. This is why you are useless in this combo. Glad I live in the basement. And then this was his apology. This was his apology. Oh wait, no, this wasn't his apology. Sorry, this is him continue to go on. Let me get something straight, because all you do is write super statuses with views. You wonder why people argue non-stop. Your opinions are literally usually backwards. I think it's time to get off my friends if, because damn. But let me say something straight. You're ratchet as hell. I'm sorry, it's the truth, but hey, somebody got to say it. I know about 200 black girls in the scene, and about 20, if even, are respectable in the fact that they actually care about video games. If you get offended by that, then who cares? 2, this ain't an agenda. Only guys go sit with Asian gamers. How about I'll try my best to stand out and be the best I could be instead of being ratchet. And then Asian female gamers don't complain. I can't stress this enough. Black female gamers suck. Literally 99% talk, but hey, what do I know? There's an ignorant basement dweller, right? Those were the comments that Chris G made back in 2017. For full disclosure, that's what he said. Now, let's see if we can find his apology. So this is the apology. So I have 2 things to say. Let's make this a bit bigger. So I have 2 things to say. 1, I'm sick or tired of agendas, especially when these agendas are in video games. I don't care who you are, where you come from, and what you stand for. We're here to play video games. All I care about is trying to get better and seeing others get better. But when you seriously have to make status upon status of dumb stuff, trying to make things worse when they are, then it becomes a problem. After reading what I wrote through, I do apologize if I wrote it. It was definitely tasteless and I shouldn't have done it. 2, lol at me being racist. That was his apology for what he had said, right? And what you need to understand is that that is not a proper apology. By saying it was tasteless and lol at me being racist, that is not an apology. He's basically saying, I'm sorry you guys got offended, but I'm not racist. That was the apology. Now, bearing in mind, that was all 3 years ago. That was probably like just after it happened. So he could have, his views could have really changed. Could have changed a lot since then, and I wouldn't be surprised if they had. However, that is the only true public apology that we can find of him apologizing for that nonsense. What I just read out is the only real apology that we can find for that. So what you need to understand is why people still hold a candle and still have an axogram of Christy, is because that's the only tangible thing we can see. But when you were in his stream, you had a lot of people, like his mods and people clearly been there, a lot like subs were like, well, we know you're not racist, we know you're not racist, we know, and they're like, you know, you apologize for this multiple times, you know, this, that, and the other, right? And it's like, if that's true and that's the case and you've truly changed since then, why are you not making more of an effort to put that persona to the public? Why are you not letting the public know that you have clearly made a huge change since then? Huge change since then. And why I find it very, very hard to now have sympathy for Chris G is if you, there's the shit I heard him say in that stream. The shit I heard him say in that stream, I on some level have sympathy for him, because what Evil Geniuses did with the moving him to Seattle and now cutting him, and he might not have money, he doesn't know what he's gonna do. I have sympathy for that, because that's a horrible situation. However, let's just listen. We'll just listen to some of the things he said here, right? We're gonna listen to it, and I'm gonna tell you why after. A lot of the shit he said is complete bullshit. What's funny as well, he got F Champ. He had F Champ and Ceroblast in his stream, and both of them were sitting there like, yo, cancel culture is so wild, cancel culture is so dumb. And that pissed me off to the utmost degree, because Ceroblast is someone who was cancelled for repeatedly saying the N-word, and when called up on it, her defense was, well, black culture's the problem. And then she's, after all that, she accepted her bans and she moved on and she apologized for everything. And then she was like, I understand why this is happening. I'm going to work on myself, move on. Now you're hearing Chris G's stream saying, yo, cancel culture is dumb. Now you know how I feel. Fuck Cuddlecore. Like, this is the same thing. F Champ, same thing. Like, if I can find this old clip of F Champ, I'm gonna play it after this. I'm gonna show you guys why F Champ also can go fuck himself. But for now, let's focus on the Chris G thing. And this is all right. There are 2 clips here that pissed me off really.
Her name is Cuddlecore. I talked to her in person, and all she's done is slander my name. She's on live right now on Ultra Chen TV. I apologized to her in person. I apologized to her and her friends when she walked up to me and Angie at Evo. She said that she accepted my apology, and she said that she would talk about it. She said that she would talk about what happened.
Now, that annoys me, because one thing I've always said is, if your disrespect is loud, your apology and your makeup for it has to be equally as loud. You apologizing to Cuddlecore, to one black woman in gaming, for what you said does not absolve you of the entire issue. Because you apologize to Cuddlecore, it's like that South Park episode where Randy said the N-word, and then Randy was like, oh, I'm gonna go apologize to Randy Jackson. Was it Randy? Who did he apologize? I think it was Randy Jackson. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna go apologize to Randy Jackson. And then that solved the issue. He's like, why are black people still mad at me? I apologize to Randy Jackson, right? Like, that's not how this works. It was Jesse Jackson. Who's Randy Jackson? Who is Randy Jackson? Okay. I don't know how I messed that up. Anyway, And now here's the clip that is really going to burn me. And when, and the thing is, I have information that's really going to make you understand why this clip pisses me off. But here we go.
Cuddlecore, I hope you're listening. Oh, yeah. Cuddlecore, you are a terrible person. You are a terrible person. And I hope you know that. I hope you go to sleep knowing that you are a terrible person.
So that seriously pisses me off here, because you're sitting here blaming everyone else for your problem. You're blaming everyone else. You're throwing your toys at the pram and you're getting angry that this is happening. And now you're blaming Cuddlecore for it. And now I can tell you all with utmost certainty that Cuddlecore was not working behind the scenes to get him to lose his sponsor. That's not what was happening. That's not what was happening. How do I know that? Because I was talking to Cuddlecore. And literally the absolute most that we were all looking, I guess that the black gamers who were out to get him were looking for, was a proper public apology. That's what we were looking for. The Cuddlecore, I can say now with absolute certainty, had nothing to do with him losing his sponsor. They did not no one was going out of the way to get him to lose his sponsor. That's not what happened. But with Cuddlecore being an advocate for marginalized groups to have safer spaces within the FGC, someone like Chris G does stand against him if he doesn't properly apologize for his words. You can say, yes, I apologize to Cuddlecore in person. You can say, yeah, you know, I have changed. But if you're not making a concerted effort to make that the case, then there's a problem. That's when like, oh, you're just only your stream and your close friends know you're not racist. Cool. But the rest of us who have had to suffer because of your words, I haven't suffered because of his words, but I know for a fact that black female gamers have suffered for his words. I know that for a fact. That doesn't run. That doesn't run. And now I think there's another clip here.
Yeah, Sarah Blast. The whole point is not to cancel people. That is the whole point. You shouldn't be canceled. Low tier God shouldn't be canceled. F Champ shouldn't be canceled. No one should be getting canceled.
Like, can we just like really take that in for a second? Can we really take that in for a second? You know what all of those people have in common? Chris G, Low Tier God, Sarah Blast, and I think you follow. Chris G, Low Tier God, F Champ, and Sarah Blast. You know what they all have in common? All of them have made horrendously offensive comments about groups of people that Chris G does not suffer from. Chris G is not trans. He is not gay. He is not black. So all of the things that they have done and said that have offended people do not affect Chris G. He cannot be out here dictating that, oh, but you know, you guys shouldn't be cancelled for what you did. It wasn't that deep. Sarah Blast, you only said the N-word multiple times. Why are you complaining? Oh, LTG, you're only hugely transphobic and homophobic all the time, but you shouldn't be cancelled. F-Champ, let's get into F-Champ for a second, because there's a very interesting clip. No, that's the thing, Westgard. Like, I am not a huge fan. I am not a huge fan of cancelling people for actions long ago. So, for example, if I had a tweet from 2012 of me saying some dumb shit, I think it'd be silly to cancel me over that. That was 8 years ago. I would have been 15 or something saying some dumb shit. The Christy Stands explosion, yeah, I forgot about that. That was a long time ago. The difference with Chris G is this was 2017. That was 3 years ago, and he's almost in his 30s. That's where it's different. You're almost in your 30s. It was only 3 years ago, and the world was a very similar place to what it is now in terms of social justice. People people kind of know when you're saying some shit that's wrong back then. No, that's the thing. I like I said, I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm not. But I think sometimes if it's bad enough, something needs to be said. Here we go. I found it. I'm sorry, but when F Champ turned around and said, you know, like he had some black friend in the background who was like, he has black godchildren, he lives with black people, how can he be racist? Let's just take a look at this real quick.
Kazunoko. Who the fuck is Kazunoko? All of a sudden you guys be talking about that motherfucker. The motherfucker doesn't know. Shit! Hold on, dude. See this shit right here? See that Kazunoko right here? That nigga right there. Look. That's what he is. Faggot! Okay? Faggot. Bitch. Fucking, you think you're so good? You won Canada Cup? Get the fuck out of here, you young player. Faggot. Okay, that's what he is. Nigga. Hold on. Let's go in. Let's go in on everyone in the crew, okay? Who's the other one? Alright. This guy has been. Okay? This guy, boss, has been. Okay? He's a has been. Real. This one. Kindevu. Real. Nigga's godlike. Okay? RF. Let me write in the back. RF. This is RF, guys. Real free. Okay? Or you could like, you could call it like real fraud too at the same time. Hold on. Here we go. MOV. This faggot ass nigga with the beard. MOV. Stick the third strike, fool. This is not your game, okay? This is not your game. It sticks with some parry shit. You think you know how to play shit, okay? Stick with your parry and Chun-Li low forward super.
And you know what? Part of that also just relates back to when I was talking about how the FGC can't have good villains, because all you actually had to do there is if he's not saying any slurs, that's just a bad promo. That's just a bad wrestling promo, right? If he just cuts out the slurs. That's basically a wrestling promo, but it's just bad. And this is someone who's turning around like, yo, why do people want to cancel me for a joke? Like, I've never been insensitive in my life. I've never been racist in my life. How do I prove that, right? How do they prove that, right? Like, these people, like, and the fact that F Champ, Cereblast, and Chris G were just all in that stream chilling, being like, yo, cancel culture is so wild. We never did anything wrong. Pisses me off. It's annoying. Because if we take Chris G out of the equation, those two both did shit recently. You know, Cereblast was saying the N-word as recent as like a week or something before, you know, she started to get cancelled. She was saying it bare, and then decided to turn around and blame black culture. F Champ's Watermelon Lives Matter tweet was ridiculous, and he should have known. But he's just an idiot, very clearly. And then you have Chris G, who I think at the end of the day, he deserved punishment. Should it have come sooner? Yes. But should he have got off on it? I don't think so. But I do think the guy who was handling him, who he was talking about, if everything he said about that guy is true, it's not the CEO. Because everyone's like, oh, Evil Genius came under new management. It's the new black female CEO that had everything to do with this. Apparently it wasn't her, it was someone else who was doing a lot of the things. But at the end of the day, the reason why, because people are, but it, like, why do it now? She's been in charge for like a year. What you need to understand is, like, when you go out of your way, or when you've just come in, and when the first thing you do is, because if you looked at his stream, there are people who really, really, really love Chris G. How's it going, Straw Hat, Jefferman, Dry Protection, Kid Basquiat? There are people who really, really, really love Chris G. And if one of the first things you do is just cut a well-beloved people are going to be pissed, and they are, right? You have to factor these things in. It's why people don't call out horrible shit you see certain people do. It's why people don't, you know, try and go after this person. Like, you've been in charge like however long, And that when the first thing you do is get rid of a beloved player, people aren't going to like that. And it's why people don't call out certain things. For example, if a bigger content creator than me did some really fucked up shit and they really fucked me over, like, I have to make a decision. Do I try and do something about that, or do I try and do whatever? When I know that because I know they're popular, I know they have their fan base, so that's something you have to factor into these decisions. But yeah, my thing is the Chris G thing has come late. The Chris G thing has come late. At the end of the day, it's 3 years too late. It should have happened sooner. Evil Geniuses didn't handle this the best, but it needed to happen at some point. It definitely needed to happen. And the fact that he's out here saying shit like Cuddlecore, you're a bad person, when I was talking to her like a few days ago, when the worst we wanted, the absolute worst we wanted was him to just make a public apology, a proper public apology, not like that stupid Facebook one that he posted straight after the fact, because that's the only apology anyone can find, right? That's the only apology people can find. So that's going to be our take on what you believe happened. That's the thing. The people that complain about cancel culture are the people who are chatting the most shit, right? I do think cancel culture can go too far. But at the end of the day, when people like F-Champ and Cereblast and Chris G and Lotte God, like, these are the people who are like, cancel culture is so bad. It's like, you're only saying that because you keep saying fucked up shit. Like, cancel culture definitely can go too far. I don't know. Like, I would have way more sympathy for Chris G if he wasn't out here saying a lot of the things that he said. Cereblast, you shouldn't be cancelled. F-Champ, you shouldn't be cancelled. LTG, you shouldn't be cancelled. Cuddlecore's a bad person. Just screaming into your mic for 13 hours straight. I don't wish him any ill will, but what he's... Oh, and real quick, another thing I want to bring up about the Chris G situation and why I lack sympathy for him, why I seriously lack sympathy for him. So this was in his chat. This is one of his mods. You can't see that properly right now, but when I enlarge it, you'll see that it says that Cuddlecore chick had a lot to do with it also. She deserves to be burned alive by Mexican cartels. This is one of his mods saying this. And you want to know Chris G's reaction to this? You want to know Chris G's reaction to this when he saw this in his chat? He was like, J-Bars, what the hell? And then that was it. That was all he said. That was all he had to say. Then he moved on. So stuff like this is why I really struggle to have sympathy for Chris G. I really struggle. This black woman came at you for the statements that you made about black women. She deserves to be burned alive. And I'll keep stating this till the day I die. Cuddlecore did not want him to lose his sponsor, but he will continue. He will continue to blame her and everyone else for what happened here, and that's fine.